Hey everybody, Rob Veno here, WagerTalk TV, Wednesday, January the 15th. We're going to take a look at a couple of college basketball games for you here today. Free plays from WagerTalk.com. But first, I want to make everybody aware that today at WagerTalk is Fill Your Cart Day. Up until midnight, you can fill your cart with any play you want, any package, daily, monthly, seasonal. You get 25% off everything you can stuff in there. So it's a good day. If you like football and you don't want to wait around till Sunday to pay full price, today knock 25% off of that. The college football championship game, of course, the NFL, NBA, college hoops always loaded. So once again, today, up until midnight, Fill Your Cart Day, 25% off all purchases at WagerTalk.com. You can get football from myself. We're going to have football playoffs up there. So once again, 25% off Fill Your Cart Day. Let's get into Kansas, Iowa State here first, guys. The schedule, we'll look at that real quick. I don't know that there's a lot going on here scheduling-wise with these two. Kansas is in their third Big 12 road game in the last 10 days. Last time they were home was last Wednesday against Arizona State, so it's been kind of split up for Iowa State. It's their third Big 12 home game in the last 11 days. They were on the road last Saturday at Texas Tech. Again, I don't think there's much going on there or much to worry about. On deck, KU is going to return back home to play Kansas State. Rivalry game. Iowa State's going to go on the road to West Virginia. I think what's more important here is the matchup and situation. Iowa State, obviously one of the better teams in the nation right now. Currently 4-0 in the Big 12. Kansas right there as well, 3-1 in the Big 12. For Kansas, the advantage matchup-wise is obviously their center, Hunter Dickinson, and their defense, both at the rim and around the perimeter. It's elite for KU. They're top 15 in both of those. Interior, like I say, perimeter, they can play defense. The Kansas Jayhawks can. Iowa State, their advantage here, probably their backcourt. Great protectors of the ball, number 14 in turnover percentage. And they're really problematic on the defensive end. For anybody who hasn't seen the Iowa State guards yet, the guards and wings are tough defensively. They pride on turning you over. 22.2% of opposition possessions turn into turnovers. They thrive off of steals, number 12 in the nation in steal rate. What it leads to is the Cyclones, they're number 26 in the country right now in fast break points, average 15.1 points per game off the break. Iowa State's going to have to score some easy points here because it's too tough to just come down and settle in, even if you're at home every time against this Kansas defense. And KU obviously is going to look to get the ball inside to Dickinson. I think when we take a final look at this one, Iowa State, Hilton Coliseum, the home crowd is a big advantage. Kansas obviously not intimidated by any venue, but still this building, any building in the Big 12 for the most part, is a huge advantage. This one especially. Iowa State's going to have to score easy points, like I mentioned, to combat that Kansas defense. KU, they'll probably look to go to Dickinson. So I would expect this. And we see it all the time in basketball. I think Iowa State's going to let their guards sag down and try and defend with extra guys against Dickinson and force Kansas to beat them from beyond the three-point arc. Even the acquisition or, portal acquisition of Rylan Griffin, three-point marksman from Alabama, hasn't helped KU become any better three-point shooting. So Iowa State probably dares them to make threes to win. I feel like you shorten this game up. Iowa State, the early crowd energy, I think carries them to a first half. They're laying 3.5 here. I don't find any problem laying that. So that's going to be the free play here for this game. Iowa State first half -3.5. On the way out, I'd like to ask everybody to hit the like button if you like the commentary, the selections, the analysis provided here by the WagerTalk handicappers each and every day. Go ahead and hit the like, hit subscribe, join the 193,000 people who already have. If you have a comment on this game or any other that you'd like to add, drop it in the comments section. I try to answer them as quickly as I can. Let's move on to the Big Ten now, where Penn State travels to Michigan State. Michigan State opens a 10.5-point favorite, total 156, currently up to 11.5 and 154. Like to always look at the scheduling here first. Penn State comes in off an extremely hard-fought 82-81 home loss against Oregon. They played that game without their starting point guard, Ace Baldwin. They've now lost 3 straight Big Ten games, and they have to go on the road to face what's arguably the league's hottest team right now in MSU. Spartans' last 3 games, they've been all world. They beat Ohio State, they beat Washington, they beat Northwestern. The problem with the Michigan State side here, and why we don't want to get too carried away, is when I compare these schedules recently and the strength of opposition, boy, Penn State's had a much tougher time of it. I just rattled off the 3 that Michigan State blew out: Ohio State, Washington, and Northwestern. Ohio State, not necessarily a blowout, only a 7-point win. But for Penn State, their last 3 games, all losses: Indiana, Illinois, and Oregon, with Illinois on the road. Indiana wasn't even a true home game. It was in the Palestra. But those 3 teams are all probably tournament bound. They're 4-3, 5-2, 4-2 inside the conference. So you got a team playing elite conference teams against a team playing conference bottom feeders. The results look good and bad. We have to weigh how much that schedule means. Let's look at the matchups and situation here. Mike Rhodes, he's got that VCU Havoc style in his blood. He's installed it here at Penn State. Here's the problem with that Havoc style today. Michigan State suddenly plays Havoc style as good as anybody in the country. They're certainly better than what Penn State does right now. Penn State's really good at it, but Michigan State has been excellent at it. Aggressive defense, they're number 2 in the country. We talked about Iowa State getting out on the break earlier. If Michigan State is number 2 in the country in fast break points, I don't think you could ever remember that in the Tom Izzo era. But the defense, their defensive rebounding, those 2 combined, the defensive rebounding, they're 21st in the country. That's the catalyst for getting out and going right now with Michigan State, putting up a lot of points. Again, 5-0 in Big Ten play, perfect season so far. The Achilles heel for Michigan State is they can't shoot threes. They are a horrendous 28.9 for the season from beyond the arc. And it is amazing that they score this many points without shooting any threes, without making any threes. I think they make around 4 or 5 per game. But the problem for Penn State, again, even though Michigan State is 337th in the country shooting threes, Penn State's last 6 games have been equally as bad. All of a sudden, they've fallen off the cliff with their 3-point shooting. 23 of 99, 23.2% over their last 6 games. They've been outscored from beyond the arc by 13 per game over that stretch. So, you need some advantages here if you're Penn State. And you could take advantage of Penn State from beyond the arc. They're unable to do it right now. I'd say this, final look at this game. You have the Penn State strength of schedule against the Michigan State strength of schedule. What do you weigh more? Status of Ace Baldwin is huge here. The number 1 point guard for Penn State listed as game time decision. We don't know if they'll play yet. They had a big effort Sunday at home. Can they bring that on the road? Was that loss at home deflating for Penn State, or was it motivating to break this 3-game losing streak? I'll say this. There's a lot of questions here in this game. The number on this game at 11.5 is huge. So maybe want to let that go a little bit and look more at the total. When I look at some of these questions, Penn State's offense on the road versus this defense, and possibly without Ace Baldwin, could mean lesser points for Penn State. 3-point shooting on each side is bad. Could mean less points for the game. If it gets to be a rout, Michigan State is a double-digit favorite. Do they slow down in the second half? The strength of schedule is shifting toward the norm here, so each might find it a little bit tougher. And is Michigan State looking ahead to the Sunday battle with Illinois? All those questions draw me to under 154.5 in this one. It's a huge number. I think they might stay under it. We're going to play it that way, free play. Once again, do check the status of Ace Baldwin. He means a lot here, but we're going to go with the free play under 154.5. Once again, on the way out, I'd like to ask everybody to hit the like button if you like what you see here from all the WagerTalk handicappers each and every day, selections, commentaries, analysis. Go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe, join the 193,000 people who already have. And if you have a comment on this Big Ten matchup or any matchup tonight, go ahead and drop it in the comments section. I'll answer it as soon as I can. For now, this is Rob Veno saying good luck with all your plays. See you next time on WagerTalk TV.